Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of Build Your Roots and Grow Your Branches. Today we're going to be having a quick chat about gratitude. So we're going to talk about what is gratitude, what does it mean, and then we're going to have a chat about the layers of understanding that apply to everything, and then specifically how they apply to gratitude, about what the next layer of gratitude is, and then how does that affect our lives. So to introduce the episode, I wanted to have a quick talk about what gratitude is. So the Merriam-Webster dictionary defines gratitude as being appreciative of things that others do for you. However, I've chosen a definition of gratitude that's more focused on individuals and introspection and about ourselves. So I've chosen to say that gratitude is being thankful for the circumstances that you find yourself in. So with that out the way, let's talk about the layers of understanding to everything and how everything has layers to it. So regardless of how you categorize information, whether that's beginner, intermediate, advanced, or conscious and unconscious incompetence, you have to agree at some point that there's layers to everything. And now I wanted to apply that to gratitude. So if we were to talk about the first layer of gratitude, or maybe like the beginner's understanding, I think a lot of people have a view of gratitude where it's all about just making a list of things that you currently are grateful for and that other people don't have. So it's quite topical now to make a list of things you're grateful for. So I don't know, I'm grateful for having a roof over my head, having a bed to sleep in, having food I can eat, and that's absolutely a good way of looking at things. But like everything in life, like I said before, there's layers of understanding to things, and I feel like this is a very beginner layer. So if we were to move forward, how could we look at gratitude in a different way? And if we go with the definition of gratitude as being thankful for the circumstances that you find yourself in, I think yes, part of that is appreciating what you have that others don't have, but I think it goes a little bit further than that. And I think one thing we have to do is we have to challenge ourselves to change our view of gratitude. So after that, then you might be asking, what's the next layer of gratitude? So I'd like to encourage you now to try and look at something that you lost in life, or something that maybe is not that easy to be grateful for. Perhaps it's something that you feel bitter about or you have resentment towards. It could be a difficult memory, or it could just be an object that causes you to have a painful recollection. I'd like to challenge you to look at that and maybe how it's changed your life. So how are certain people not being in your life anymore affected you? If you've lost friends or anything like that, or if you've lost members of family. So this is the reason why I think we need to change our view of gratitude, because if you look at what you have that others don't have and you've suddenly lost something, then you can kind of actually make it hard to be grateful, because yeah, sure, not having someone who's normally there in your life is going to negatively impact you and affect your daily life at first glance, especially if you use the traditional view of gratitude. Now you've lost something that everyone else has, it looks that way, so it can make it hard to feel grateful, especially when you miss the best parts about something or someone. But I think when you look a bit deeper, and if you look at gratitude another way, you can actually see that perhaps by not having something, your path, your daily life, or even a small thing about you has changed for the better, even in a subtle way. So losing anything, no matter how small or trivial it may seem to others, but especially if it's something you can't really describe the importance of to yourself because it's just that important, I think it really does impart lessons to you. And one of the main takeaways I think it tells us is that everything we do is finite and limited, and one day we will have to go, and everything we love could actually be taken away from us in a moment's notice. And whether you believe in a higher power or not, life can change in seconds for anyone. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean we should hide in a box, but it does mean that things, even if we lose them, those small moments that we do have with them just become infinitely more valuable. Anything we have, or anything we had for a long time, no matter how much people try and be as spiritually wise as they can, just having something for a long time, we all eventually take it for granted. And by losing something or someone, you do learn lessons. And I think that's the next level of gratitude that I was talking about before. It was seeing how not having something or someone in your life has made you better and has actually taught you things that you couldn't have learned otherwise. So one thing that I've learned is everything we have is kind of borrowed, in the same way that energy can never really be created or destroyed. It's just transferred from one vessel to another. At a very simplistic level, you could say that people come and go in our lives, and we do get to spend time with them. We make warm memories with them that are really beautiful, but no one can stay forever, and nothing can stay permanently within our lives. We don't actually own anything, and I think that's quite painful to understand and accept initially. Once you accept that, it does make you able to spend more time in the moment and accept things and enjoy life without forcing a certain mindset. And I think that is the next layer of gratitude that I've been talking about, is being able to accept that not having things actually makes your life better, and without them and by losing those things, you couldn't have actually learned lessons along your life that you now learned. So the best way of explaining this is that I think if you think of the blessings of mankind, one of the things we're able to do is we're actually able to write down as a form of communication. Now that seems really trivial when you put it like that, but if you think about that more deeply, it means that people can, lessons that people have taken their entire life to learn can just be distilled into very relatively shorter pieces of information that we can then digest very quickly. But I think that actually just makes us aware of these lessons. I think to truly learn something, understand and apply it, you really have to struggle and contend with those meanings and concepts behind all these different ideas. And I don't think it's just enough to read about them to fully apply them. I think that just makes you aware of it. But having sustained a loss or having something taken away from you, whether that's something small or large like a person, I think that those sorts of things, when they happen, you realize that you couldn't have learned or fully applied these new belief systems that are part of your life and make it better today without having sustained that loss. And actually, if you had kept that object or that person in your life, you'd still be in a position of comfortable decadence, that perhaps you neglected the blessings or you failed to acknowledge the changes in your mindset and growth that's come from that. Now, that doesn't mean you were like a bad person or anything before, but just like we said, beginner, intermediate, advanced, it's just like a child becoming an adult. You just become aware of more things, you become more advanced in different ways. And I think that's really what this second layer of gratitude is all about, is about being able to see and appreciate things and learn to appreciate how actually loss can make you so much better, rather than just looking very simplistically at what you have and what others don't have and appreciating that aspect, which, like I said before, that's really important too. But seeing what you don't have in your life and why you don't have it anymore and what effect that's had on you and whether or not that's actually made you a better person. And if it hasn't, actually asking yourself that and finding that out can be really valuable to you in changing your life path and going forward, and maybe finding a new way of life that you didn't have access to before. So I think these are really important questions to ask yourself, It's very possible, I'm sure, that when something like this happens, when you lose someone, you can't really think very clearly, or something so bad happens that you just think, like, how can this possibly have been a good thing? And it's very difficult to even bring the idea of gratitude into your mind at moments like that. And I think these are just the limitations of our understanding. We can all try to extrapolate a deeper meaning of life, but at the end of the day, our minds in themselves are limited, and there's only so much we can understand. So you may never truly understand why something happened. And I do appreciate that, like I said before, life can change in a matter of seconds and anything can happen. And I think it's really important to work out how losing things has made you a better person and how you can improve your life going forward. But I think, again, you can't overread into things too much, or not everything that happens has to have such a deep meaning. Some things can just randomly happen. People do die, accidents do happen, we do lose things in life along the way, and it's really important to grow from those events. But sometimes you may never actually fully understand why those things happened, and that's all part of the journey. We'd all love to be so wise that we could fully grasp the value of something without losing it, but I think despite our best efforts, we really do try hard. But I think we, as a species or as a people, we just can't internalize the value of something until we're certain we're going to lose it. And I think for many people it's difficult to make that distinction, because it's only when we lose something that actually we become we accept that certainty that we're going to lose it. Beforehand, it just seems to be more of a possibility rather than a certainty. And I think when we lose something, or when we accept the certainty that we're going to lose something or someone, a lot of other values and meanings reveal themselves that maybe we didn't see before. And one of the main things that actually we can see once we've lost something is our self-value, because when we lose more and more things in life, we start to see what we really need in life and what we can live without, and what actually we have within inside ourselves that doesn't come from other people. And it's only when everything starts to go bit by bit and the distractions become less and less that you get to find out who you really are and what you actually value about yourself. And I'll leave you with this passing thought from the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche, who said, "The essence of all beautiful art, all great art, is gratitude." So perhaps you're still learning to understand that, like every human being, you're one of the greatest works of art, a true masterpiece in the making. Thank you for listening. I really hope you enjoyed this episode. Be sure to check out the other episodes, follow this podcast, share it with anyone you think it might help out, and be sure to check out the links to my other works, my books and Instagram, and I hope you have a lovely day.